Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Telecast-tv. I'm Mira Kwangala. You are watching trending news around the globe, especially in Nigeria. All the incident that took place on Wednesday, March 2026. Endeavor to watch this video to the end. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, drop your thoughts. Don't miss trending videos.
The new IGP has moved swiftly, inaugurating an 8-member steering committee on the establishment of state police at the force headquarters, declaring that state police has come to stay.
The committee was set up early this morning to look into the issue of state police from the angle of the Nigerian police. We don't want it to seem as if others are taking decision and we, the most important people concerned, did not do anything. We want to ensure that the best thing is done. State police has come to stay, and the police should be able to contribute their own part in making it succeed. The police are not afraid. Our jobs are not being taken. It's just an issue of partnership.
All right, congratulations are in order. This is a significant statement from the brand new IGP, and it signals a clear departure from his predecessor, whose reported resistance to state policing was among the reasons cited for his exit. Disu has also pledged zero tolerance for corruption, impunity, and human rights abuses, telling officers that every Nigerian must be treated with dignity, regardless of their social or political status. Nigerians will be watching to see if his promises are kept, and I think that this is a laudable development within our security architecture. And also speaking about, state police in Anambra State. The state's police command on Tuesday released footage of 100 newly trained constables undergoing armed drills. The training is set to help build mental resilience, strategic thinking, and combat proficiency in line with the Nigeria Police Force's nationwide professionalization goals. Let's take a look.
At a walk. Very correct. I love this set. Don't jump back. Straight yourself.
All right, I think this is a welcoming development. 100 newly trained constables. That's exactly the kind of investment Nigeria needs in its police force right now as the country grapples with evolving security threats from all sides. Dr. Abati, you're smiling too much, so I'm coming to you on the story, obviously.
The Inspector General of Police says, the state police has come to stay.
Yes.
And that the police, the existing Nigerian police force, is going to do everything that is possible to support the idea and make it realizable. And in that regard, he has set up a committee, a management committee. Now, that's the very good part of it, because previously, police officers, senior police officers, retired and serving, had opposed the idea of having state police on the grounds that, they will need to be the ones to control them. The state police should still report to the federal police. But now we have an IGP who is saying he will make it happen. And I think that that is important. Also to the extent that he's practically taking ownership of the idea. He's also seizing the initiative. But that also should not preclude the fact that the states will also have to make their inputs, and the critical things will be about structure, about hierarchy, about relationship with the existing Nigerian police force, and then the enabling law, which the president has said the National Assembly should not waste time in looking at, which will be Section 214, which says there will be only one police force. Now, that will have to be amended. There won't be one police force. 215, 216, which talks about the directives, the hierarchy, the authority, which places the President of Nigeria as the sole final authority over the police. Now, state governors too should be empowered. They should not just be chief security officers in name, and so that we don't have a situation whereby a state commissioner of police will attend the State Security Council meeting, but if the governor gives a directive, he will have to take instruction from a IGP in Abuja, and the IGP will have to take instruction from the president. And we have seen the problem with that. Security breach in a particular state, the policemen will arrive late because of the bureaucracy and the line of authority involved. The concern that people will abuse police force at the state level, or that it will become state politicians' police. Well, in the framework, there should be safeguards to make sure that nobody abuses it. At least let us try it first. Yeah. Because we've had state police before, one form or the other, in parts of Nigeria in the past, and it worked then. The objective should be to make it work this time around.
Well said, Dr. Abati, well said. Well, Rufai, in a separate development, the federal government has announced that it is now illegal to erect roadblocks to collect cash taxes, a practice long criticized by businesses, drivers, and citizens across the country. I wanted to tie this story in with it as well. Roadblocks. What's going to happen to these roadblock officers?
Is this the day they've been declaring roadblocks illegal? Is it today they've been declaring roadblocks illegal?
How are they going to enforce it?
They can't enforce it.
These are the questions.
They can't enforce it.
Okay.
It's just like when they say, when even the president say, people should not use police protection again. VIP should not use police again. How easy was that to enforce? That's the president's word, though. How easy was that to enforce? You say roadblock. Roadblock.
Seriously?
Roadblock is the financial lifeblood.
No, I'm not going to agree with you.
See, all the pictures of tourists. Did you put a picture of a tourist that passed the police
Dr. Abati
checkpoint that was asking about
Dr. Abati liked that guy.
That he was. There wasn't there that one
was
that
very
said,
polite.
Very polite. That what do you bring for us?
Alcohol. And offered the marital advice.
If you remove roadblock,
get this woman pregnant.
do you know how many people in the force you want to give high BP? You want to give untimely deaths? If you remove roadblock,
okay.
There's a distinction, though.
No,
yes,
there is roadblock. There's also stop and search.
Yeah.
I think these policemen, they should begin to wear body cam.
Yes.
Compulsorily.
They will remove it.
No, it must work. And they must put a system in place whereby, they should put a system in place when you go back to the office. They check your camera.
Dr. Abati,
and if you give excuse that your camera did not work, they should dismiss
Dr. Abati, why is police stop you? Try taking video evidence because they don't want accountability. They will destroy your phone. They will. You just said they should remove road.
No, but we have to.
When you put the body cam.
But let me just say.
No, the policeman should wear body cam.
Oh my God!
We want to move forward. We cannot continue to promote status quo. What you're saying is reality. But let me for a second. Lord. So this is part of the presumptive tax regulation of 2026. Yeah. What they're saying is that they're trying to bring in the informal sector into a more formal way of receiving taxes. And so part of that is that to avoid double taxation, the assurance is that when they would, there's a tax guideline for them, 1% of their earnings, they will simplify the process for them, especially for those who have an annual turnover of 12 million. So bringing the informal sector in. But one of the things that has been complained about a number of times is that they have to endure double taxation. For instance, those who carry food, trucks across different countries, there are different checkpoints, multiple illegal roadblocks that have been mounted and where illegal taxes are collected. And you raised the salient point around enforcement guidelines. They say they're going to release an enforcement guideline this week to see how this will be operationalized. But what we are hopeful for is that in speaking, will perhaps be the most pro-people policy of this administration. That can they actually achieve it? Too many informal sector players have been belabored by multiple taxes despite the meager income that they get. If they can fix this with election coming up in a few months' time, because a number of these touts are used as election machineries. So if they can fix it, it would be a good accolade for the Tinubu administration. So I'm speaking up for that they should protect our small business, our micro and nano business owners. It's so important.
You are saying people like MC Ulomo should not collect money. MC Ulomo that gave president, he gave president 700 million.
The people have suffered so much.
You say he should not collect Owo Park.
Local government officials.
You say they should not collect.
You know, if you travel from Lagos State, there's one point around Ojoju. If you cross that particular point, they'll stop you. And you say, I'm just coming from Ikoyi. They'll say, no, you have left Lagos State. You are now in Ogun State. We are from it for local government.
So they should start with that one. Let us prepare.
He can't stop.
He will stop.
Is that money that's going to go politics?
It has to stop.
MC gave Tinubu 700 million.
Tax regime. And so they're saying that they want to fix things and get more revenue to government purse instead of going to all these
let's work on the implementation.
There's also signage police. If they see a nice news, they will say signage. They want to collect money. Nigeria is a cruise.
Nigeria a cruise. Well, all right. I think also it's a good development. Well, more on security. Meanwhile, the air component of Operation Hadinkai, the military task force fighting insurgency, has announced the neutralization of over 50 suspected Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists. In a new video released on Thursday by the security analyst Zagazola Makama, the clip shows footage of precision bombardment after terrorists withdrew after a failed attack in Ingoshe, in Goza local government area of Borno State. Let's take a look. What a laudable achievement. Rufai says, Fini Laba. I mean, that video was beautiful to see. We congratulate our troops. We need to see more of this.
Yes. They say it's precision. I still saw some people running away. This is not...
They got 50 of them. Dr. Abati, 50
some people ran away with that precision attack.
I think that's debris. I don't think anybody can escape that kind of bombardment, Dr. Abati. It was completely, amazing. It's all dark here. I
think this is the U.S. precision strike. Some people,
you see some people.
Even with the U.S. precision strike, some people got away, and that we said that some people flee. Yeah. But the fact about it is that majority was a successful operation.
Yes, it was.
And so what we often talk about is to mop up those that have fled, know their exit points, and be able to still apprehend them. That's what. Right. So we give them kudos for this. Even the U.S. precision strike had some people flee. Yes, so it's a successful operation.
Up Nigeria. All right.
Now a military.
Yes. Up Nigeria. Well, Operation Hadinkai also came out to debunk what they are calling propaganda from Boko Haram and ISWAP, accusing the terrorist groups of resurfacing old pictures and reports to deceive the public and falsely stating that 20 soldiers of the Nigerian army were recently killed. In a Tuesday post on X, the media information officer, Sani Uba, stated in part that one of such recycled publication is a July 9th, 2020 report by Y Niger, which forcefully resurfaces with bodies of soldiers and claims to be an ambush on Nigerian soldiers, adding that the military's fact check mechanism shows that the report was posted a decade ago. The statement went further to highlight that the events are being mischievously circulated to create panic and distort the current security realities in the Northeast. It's good that they have come out to debunk this. We did see the, message circulate. I even saw 50 Nigerian soldiers killed. My heart, sank at that moment. But, the Nigerian armed forces have debunked this news, and it is good to see that, we're making strides, especially in the Northeast. Like we say on this table, when they do good, we praise them. So kudos to the Nigerian army. Now to a deeply troubling video making the rounds on social media, showing a man in visible distress, claiming he was attacked inside his own home by a group of men shortly after he publicly announced on social media that he had renounced Islam. The man, whose identity has not been publicly disclosed, says the assailants confronted and physically attacked him over his decision to leave the faith. Well, this is, deeply alarming, and it raises questions about religious freedom and the right of every Nigerian to make personal choices about their faith without fear or violence, if these claims are verified, because we have not independently verified that video. It is a fundamental violation of human rights. That video has garnered almost 1 million views on social media at this moment in all fonts.
We just have to call for restraint.
Yes.
See, the truth is, religion is your personal pathway for your relationship with God. Any way you choose it, that's your prerogative.
Yes.
If you were in a certain religion before and you say you want to try out another religion, it should not warrant all of this. In fact, apart from even religion or anything, you should not personally assault people for their own convictions or try to break into their homes. And we should be very exact about that. But we live in a country where there's a high rate of religious persecution.
Yes.
And we should not condone that. And Dr. Abati, yes, you were talking about education. It's right to be able to educate people this morning. But when you also look at it deeply, we should also now have a society that is fair to all. We should remember that there will be animists amongst us. There will be Christians, there will be Muslims, there will be Zoroastrians, there will be Buddhists, there will be anything.
All right.
And you should be able to allow them practice. And I'm saying this under the guise of a certain woman in Ilorin, if you remember that story, that her home was burnt.
Yes.
Because she was doing Isheshe or something.
Yes, we took that story here.
That should never be the case.
And
in Edo State and other parts of the country, that should never be the case.
Right.
So if this is proven to be true, those that did that should be terribly.
I thought it was important to highlight this particular video.
Is to say that one, Islam is a religion of peace. It's the people who are practicing in this particular manner who violate the religion. In chapter 2 of the Quran, I think verse 256, the Quran says, the Holy Book says, there is no compulsion in faith. In other words, you cannot force people to accept your own way of worship or faith.
Right.
And the Nigerian Constitution, in section 38 thereof, says that there is freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. Each person should be free to worship God the way they best choose.
Fantastic.
So this is the lesson here.
And
the Nigerian state must go against people who force people to worship God in their own way. We are all children of God.
Fantastic.
Nobody can tell you how to, do your own religion.
All right, we have to continue to speak up against religious freedom violations, and that's why I thought it was important to highlight this video. Well, as the escalating war between the United States, Israel, and Iran entered its 5th day, security forces have mounted a heavy presence across strategic locations in Abuja, deploying armed personnel around key government institutions, diplomatic zones, and major transit corridors to preempt any security breach linked to the intensifying Middle East conflict. Meanwhile, the League of Imams in Lagos State has warned Nigerians against taking sides or engaging in any act that could jeopardize national security and the peaceful coexistence of its people. Well, in the same vein, a video circulating on social media showing students reportedly from Al-Mustafa Islamic School in Niger State, a Shia-affiliated institution linked to the Islamic movement of Nigeria, marching in protest following the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran and the assassination of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has sparked reactions online. The footage shows young girls in school uniforms and hijabs standing on Israeli and American flags while holding portraits of Ayatollah Khamenei. Some Nigerians watching this video online have reacted with alarm, many questioning why school children are being mobilized for geopolitical protests and demanding answers from Niger State authorities about what is being taught inside these classrooms. These are children in school uniforms being used to advance a foreign political agenda on Nigerian soil. The Islamic movement of Nigeria, as we know, led by Sheikh Ibrahim Zalzaki, has long maintained strong ideological ties to Tehran and has staged similar demonstrations during past Middle East conflicts. And we have seen more demonstrations. We took some on Monday in Sokoto, Lagos, and, in some states across Nigeria, protesting against the killing of Ayatollah Khamenei. But now we're seeing children. Children are being put into this.
Yeah, so yesterday I spoke about how sad it was that children were killed in Iran. It's the same way that we should strongly speak against children being used as part of protests against, based on religious or ideological views. The truth is that the relationship between Nigeria and Iran is such that Iran is seen as, well, the Ayatollah is the head of the Shia Muslims. In Nigeria, we have about 3 to 12 million in terms of the population, even though a small number compared to about 50% of the population who practice Islam. And so you can understand, take away the numbers, you know how much, the number of the Shia Muslims here, but we have a population of them, and they have spoken out through protests, peaceful at the moment, against what's happening. However, because Nigeria is a secular state that has a number of religious beliefs practiced in the country, it can easily escalate into something more serious. And that's why there's been a call, and I'm glad that Mr. Tunji Dusu in his speech had said that they were monitoring the situation closely and ensuring that they were managing it so that it would not escalate. However, I believe that the school authorities in the state, in Niger State, should investigate that school and ask why the students were made to march, in this manner, and to even look at their curriculum. Is this part of the education the students are going to receive? Because Dr. Abati made a point around ignorance being one of the biggest challenges that we have here in Nigeria, and it's because of what is being fed to the students. Where we should be promoting tolerance and religious diversity, you can hold on to your views, but don't get students who have been sent into schools for education to march for a belief that many of them are not even aware of. And then you now ask on a bigger scale that for these people that are marching for a war in Iran, from America and the US, how many of them have spoken out concerning issues in Nigeria? You can't legislate, to be honest, on what people choose as what is important to them. But this is why the message on Nigeria first, and holding the fact that the interest of Nigeria should surpass the interest of another country, irrespective of what is going on. And so this points to our education system and how we begin to bring the sense of patriotism, a love for the nation, national security in Nigeria above trying to march for Israel and America and Iran, who don't care, to be quite honest, about what's happening to you here in Nigeria. And so that's what we're asking for. Can we be more sensitive? Can we be more enlightened, aware of what's going on, and not fighting other people's war that does not concern us. But I believe that the school authority should be investigated by the state, the school state board in Niger State as to why students who have gone to learn are being, roped into this.
It's deeply disturbing, and these are the sort of conversations that we need to have. So people that don't know should know that this is completely wrong. It is absolutely wrong. Well, let's take our next story from Ibadan. We're on Wednesday, and Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka led charge for members of the Pirates Confraternity to pay their respects to another giant in the literary world, Professor Biodun Jeyifo, who was laid to rest at the Anglican Cemetery, St. James the Great Cathedral Ground. Jeyifo, fondly known as Professor BJ, was a former president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, and died on February 11th at 80 years old. Let's take a look. Oh, may his soul rest in peace. This is especially meaningful as Jeyifo had earned widespread acclaim as one of the foremost authorities on the life and works of Professor Wole Soyinka himself. Dr. Abati, over to you.
Okay, well, first of all, let's commiserate with the family of Emeritus Professor Biodun Jeyifo, one of the leading intellectuals in the field of literature, at a time when, in this country, if you were a student in Ife or you were a student anywhere in any university, the university environment in Nigeria produced stars in various departments, various universities, intellection when it was very serious business. So you had in Ife people like Professor Biodun Jeyifo, Rocco Shikoni, and the whole of that, generation in that university. You had in Ibadan, but the radical academics. You had up north in ABU, you had people like Patrick Wilmot, you had Bala Usman, and they taught students even beyond their own environment. But in literature, he was one of the leading lights. There's no way you will study literature or drama in this country that you will not have read his The Truthful Lie on, sociology of African drama, or you will not have read his groundbreaking book on Wole Soyinka, Politics, Poetics, and Post-Colonialism. He was also actively involved in journalism, and he did a collection against the predators, cultural and political journalism. And he also distinguished himself abroad, in Harvard, teaching abroad, but he remained connected to the roots. He was first ASU president. So, his burial was symbolic. All the activists were there, including our own KK. Yes. I saw them singing Aluta Continua. Then, apart from Labour, you also had the Pirates, of course, who gave him a paratical burial.
I'm sure, Dr. Abati, if I give you 1 hour, you won't finish this eulogy today. So unfortunately,
okay, but everyone did well. Yes, both the pirates, the family, and his friends in particular, who all turned out in large numbers.
And just speaking about his friends, kudos to the likes of Dr. Yemi Ogubi and other people that went through for the burial. Okay. He's a man of many firsts. I think one of the first three to be able to get, the third person to be able to get a first-class Department of English at University of Ibadan. I think since then, that's not been surmounted. Also, man of many first, Harvard and Cornell professor, did well for himself. But one thing that he will always preach is that Iwa lesson. His true religion was his character, and BJ lived it.
All right.
He was kind to all, and he was pleasant to all, and he lifted a lot of people.
All right, the Pirates confraternity. For me,
Extraordinary.
I thought I should give you this. So don't worry, maybe on Friday we'll give you more room to discuss further. But it was good to a lot to say. We should have more time. And also the fact that we saw Professor Wole Soyinka in that whole regalia in the Pirate confraternity.
He was first a student.
All right.
Later friend. Later academic rival.
Right.
The very good, rival.
Beautiful tribute.
Ideological.
May his soul rest
Captain
in
Blood.
peace. Now to Edo State.
Of Tutuga. Captain Blood of Tutuga. Ahoy.
Now to Edo State, where Governor Monday Okpebolo is generating quite the reaction online after publicly inviting Arise News anchors, Rufai Oseni and Dr. Reuben Abati, to visit Edo State following what he described as their frequent criticism of his administration. Speaking on Wednesday in Benin City during a defection rally, Okpebolo declared that he would personally drive the two journalists around the state's development projects, and that by the time they were done, they'll be campaigning for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ahead of 2027. Let's take a look.
I will use this opportunity to invite Rufai and Reuben Abati of Arise TV. I will also write you a special letter. By the time you spend 2 days in Edo, you will vote for Asewaju, you and your wives. I will take you out. I will drive them by myself. I will take them from one project to another project. 2 days, 1 week is not enough to go round. But I will just take them around for few sites. Then we will know whether they will be the one to now go and start campaigning for Asewaju or not.
If you see Asewaju, tell them say, Okpebolo dey here. You don't get to program.
All right, we will accept the invitation.
I'm the neutral on the table. You've been invited.
I hope you guys are going.
No, of course.
Yes,
pick a date. If the governor is saying he's going to chauffeur you around Benin City, Edo State, then why not, Dr. Abati Rufai? But there's a clause though.
Yes.
We extended the invitation first.
Okay.
If you recall, there's
true.
been an invitation on the table for an interview with His Excellency. It would be great for him to honor that invitation, and Rufai and Dr. Abati will be more than happy to go to Edo State to engage him. The only thing I cannot assure him is whether or not they will now become campaigners or maybe though, in anticipation of their visit, let him sew that cap for them. And then at the end they'll decide whether they want to wear it or not.
All right, this is
But it's very interesting to know. I think the underlying thing here is to know that the people in power they listen. They are aware of what we speak about here on the table, and whether or not they like it or not, there's an effort to want to convince you otherwise that work is being done in Edo State.
Dr. Abati, Rufai, Akpako Rescue. Akpako Rescue is going to get you.
Akpako Misa, hope you have black soup.
What do you have to say? Are you going? Are you accepting it?
I get an invitation.
All right, he's just done that. All right.
Let me speak for myself. That's for Doctor. For me, he has to come here first and grant an interview. Because when we invited him there, the APC in Edo State wrote that I should bring $1 million since I don't have money. If he comes here, he just does 35 minutes on this seat here. We interview, we ask all the questions. Then we go and eat black soup in Benin City with the governor.
Edo State Governor, Monday Okpebolo.
He's black soup invited to come and see the wonderful taste.
I will not eat. I will not eat black soup. I will not enjoy Edo. But after the interview with us, yes, first, that's just Akpako Misa.
Akpako Rescue. Well, all right, Edo State Governor, Monday Okpebolo. We at Arise News accept your invitation. Let's head over to Akwa Ibom State now, where Senate President Godswill Akpabio celebrated the state's governor, Pastor Umo Eno, for the peaceful nature of the APC State Congress by composing a new song for the governor and singing it for him on stage. This performance took place at the Yo Township Stadium on Tuesday as the Senate President hailed the governor for his inclusive leadership. Let's take a look.
Finally, on behalf of my colleagues from the National Assembly, and on behalf of all the stakeholders, the governor of Akwa Ibom said, Your Excellency Minor, this one is for you. You are the man. You are the man. You are the man we've been looking for. Oh, Minor, you are the man. You are the man. You are the man we've been searching for. Oh, you are the man. You are the man. You are the man we've been longing for. You are the man. You are the man. You are the man we've been searching for. Oh, you are the man. You are the man we want.
I guess we can now add a musician to his portfolio. Senate President Godswill Akpabio has a way. I mean, the Senate President also described this Congress as one that will go down in history as one of the most peaceful in Nigeria, while suggesting that any upcoming elections in Akwa Ibom will be just as peaceful as what they witnessed on Tuesday. Well, high praise indeed. I mean, why not? He was former Akwa Ibom State Governor. He will continue to praise the state, but now we know that Senate President Godswill Akpabio is a musician. Now under a milestone.
He needs to have dancing.
Dancing. Oh, we've not seen him
like,
dancing.
Yes.
Well, all right. Now under milestones. Today we celebrate former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who turns 89 years old. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and former President Goodluck Jonathan have both sent warm tributes celebrating the elder statesman's extraordinary legacy of service, sacrifice, and leadership. Well, Obasanjo served Nigeria as military head of state from 1976 to 1979, making history as the first military leader to hand over power peacefully to a civilian government, and later returned as civilian president from 1999 to 2007. He led troops on the war front during the Nigerian Civil War, was imprisoned under the late military dictator Sani Abacha for speaking out against tyranny, and has remained an active voice in Nigeria's development and Africa's progress ever since. Speaking at an international colloquium held in his honor in Abeokuta, Obasanjo declared Africa is not a problem to be managed. Africa is a promise to be fulfilled, and leadership is how that promises gets. 89 years and still standing strong. Olusegun Obasanjo is one of Africa's most consequential leaders, a man whose life has spanned war, imprisonment, democratic governance, and decades of continental advocacy. Happy 89th birthday to Olusegun Obasanjo. On that note, I'd love to thank you.